Hey guys, happy Sunday. It's me, Keisha, and I am here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, the Braxton Season 2, Episode 3. So the infamous episode has finally began where the sisters come together and hash everything out, and it did not disappoint, okay? So we began 3 weeks earlier from the sit down, and Trina has returned home from Tulum to be with Vaughn, who had to go to urgent care. So he waited until she left and went to urgent care because he hadn't been feeling well and didn't tell her because he said that he knew that she wouldn't go on the trip. He says, but when he went, that they found fluid on his lungs and heart and that he weighed 309 pounds. After they did whatever procedure they did, when he left, he weighed 279 pounds. So they got rid of 30 pounds of water from his body, which is absolutely insanity. Okay. He was told he has 90 days of changing his eating habits and exercise and taking the medication, to make a lifestyle change. And if he can do that, then he won't have to have surgery. But if he can't, he will have to have surgery. So this has been a big wake up call for not only him, but for Trina as well, because they need to eat better and take better care of themselves. And, it was just a scary situation to go through. But I wish that he would have been honest with his wife about what was going on with him health wise, because that was dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Tamar does the T.S. Madison podcast called Outlaw, and immediately T.S. asks her about the Ashley situation. But Tamar says that she got a cease and desist and can't talk about it. Tamar in her confessional says that she was blindsided because they were good. And she was upfront with the sisters about doing the podcast. She wasn't being shady or deceptive or anything. So she was very shocked that they did that. And when she reached out to them via the group chat to ask why they sent her that, nobody responded, according to her. Yo, the mind games that them Braxton heifers play with each other is insanity. Insanity. Oh my God. So Towanda, her daughter Brooke, Trina, and Mama E go to try on her dress. And what is up with the Braxton kids? Towanda kids, weird looking. Trina kids, weird looking. Logan is Logan. Logan is Tamar and Mama E in a boy body. Trina's sons look like cereal. They look like Unabombers. And here go Towanda daughter Brooke with a mop on her head. I didn't know what is that? I've never seen that hair. It was given like Rick James when he had the beads. It was a lot. God bless her. Maybe she's goth. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to be a K-pop demon hunter. I don't know, child. Bless her heart. But anywho, they sit down and Towanda says that Toni nor Tamar have given her their measurements for their dresses, and that Toni isn't going to do the bridal shower now anymore. Somebody else is taking over that duty. So she starts on her woe is me speech again about how nobody is there for her, and she thought that things would be so different. And yeah, you're disappointed that Toni keep on flaking on you, but you don't give a goddamn about Tamar. You don't. But she's going to milk this for everything that she can on camera to make everybody feel bad for her and make everybody think that Tamar is just being an absentee, neglectful sister, when in all actuality, that is Toni Birdman Braxton. She's the one that could take it or leave it, okay? Toni ain't never there. Toni don't never show up, and that's who you're disappointed by. You could give a goddamn if Tamar wanted to be there for you or not. You're going to disregard her regardless. So she comes out there in this dress that looked like a chandelier. I'm like, okay, see ya. She looked a mess. Then she goes and tries on, I guess, her actual dress. The colors of her wedding are brown and purple. That purple is her favorite color. The skirt was beautiful. Beautiful. I love the train that was added on it. The skirt was a sequined skirt. It was beautiful. But then she paired it with this brown bustier with a mesh top. It kind of looked like lingerie. It really wasn't going. Then she had on purple opera gloves. One arm got the purple cast, and then they was talking about doing a purple veil. It was a hodgepodge of foolishness. I didn't really see the vision. I loved everything from the waist down, from the waist up. It was a carnival. It was a carnival cruise, okay? But this is Towanda. Towanda can't dress for shit, no way. So Toni was set to film a scene in LA, but had to call production and tell them that they would have to film it another day because she had an emergency flight to Atlanta for Mama E, who apparently had a major health scare. She had test result that showed she had a blockage on her heart, and then she had to have emergency surgery to receive a stent and didn't tell anybody. Yeah. Tamar found out about the surgery via Logan. She said that she was in her bed like 1 o'clock in the morning. He came in the room and was like, "Mama, we need to pray for Mama." And she was like, like, pray for her for what? She was like, she's having heart surgery tomorrow. And she was like, what? So how the hell you tell your grandson, but you don't tell your daughters? Are you okay? Like that? Oh God, Jesus. So that's how Tamar found out and told the rest of the family. Tamar and Trina were there the day of the surgery and everything. And Toni was flying in. I guess Towanda couldn't come. Whatever. So we also find out that this is the second time she's had to have a stent in her heart. But the last time she had a heart attack. So they're really scared that it could happen again. So she gets home, she's, settled and everything, and Toni visits her and Trina and Tamar. And she tells Toni that she may need to have another surgery because there's still some blockage there. And of course, they're very concerned and worried about this because of what happened the last time. But they also get on her about not informing them about the surgery or whatever. She says that she didn't know that it was a surgery. She thought that they were going to do more testing. She could be telling the truth because she old and, she getting to that point where she don't probably comprehend a lot of things, or she knew what was going on and just didn't tell them. Either way, it was very not cool, So we get to the nitty gritty. The sisters meet up at a restaurant, a private room, because Tamar wants to know why they sent her the cease and desist letter because nobody responded to the question in the group chat. So they get there, everybody speak, they sit down, and Tamar asks how the wedding planning is going to Towanda. And Towanda, get to saying da 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 da. And Tamar was like, well, question, because isn't the maid of honor supposed to be helping with all of the things that you have going on? And Toni was like, aren't you the maid of honor? Tamar was like, I've been relieved of my duties. And Towanda said, who relieved you? And Tamar, in her confessional, says, I asked if anyone else got a maid of honor invitation. And not only did Towanda say no, but Trina and Toni said it as well. Towanda, in her confessional, says, I didn't give anybody the special title of maid of honor or matron of honor. Trina, in her confessional, says, we all got the same invitation and they were all to be ladies of honor. Toni, in her confessional, says, I was a little confused because everyone is supposed to be a maid of honor, but how are you going to make everyone be us, meaning her friends? This how you know Towanda is a fucking liar, because y'all literally just sat up here and had the conversation where Tamar said, isn't the maid of honor supposed to help? Toni said, aren't you the maid of honor? Tamar said, I've been relieved of my duties. Towanda said, who relieved you? But now in your confessional, you saying that nobody was given the title of maid of honor or matron of honor. And even Toni in her confessional said she was confused by the whole situation. Like, Towanda. Oh. Like, be for real. Be for real. Like, she literally tries to play head games with people. And she does it in that condescending way by speaking in a calm voice and asking questions like this to really get underneath your skin because she knows that you know that you're playing in her face. And you look like the crazy one because you the one yelling, but she's being calm, so she must be telling the truth. You fucking sociopath. God damn it, I can't stand that bitch. Oh my God, that Beetle Bailey looking heifer. So Tamar says, I got disinvited from Tulum after I got my ticket. Towanda, who told you that? Tamar said, y'all didn't want me to come. Towanda, who said we didn't want you to come? I'll wait, because we were told you didn't want to film with us. Now, Tamar says, you already know why I don't want to film with you because y'all sent me a cease and desist, right? But let's rewind it because this is what Towanda does. She likes to put two things together and make it one. When she said, who said we didn't want you to come? I'll wait because we were told you didn't want to film with us. First of all, we know that she wanted to come. The producer even told her that Tamar wanted to come. And we saw her say she would ruin everything. No, you didn't want her to come. And I really wish that Tamar would have called out the producer right then and there. But when Towanda added on we were told you didn't want to film with us. Yeah, she said that, but not pertaining to your bachelorette party. Not pertaining to that. She was actually going to come to support you. So like, girl, bye. Bye. So my thing is, was the cease and desist letter sent out before Tulum or after Tulum? This is what I want to know. Because you know they don't film everything they don't show us everything in chronological order. But regardless, don't try to put you don't want to film with us as the reason why she didn't come to Tulum. You know the reason why she didn't come because you didn't fucking want her there. Nutcracker looking ass. So Tamar says, y'all know why I didn't want to film with y'all because y'all sent me a cease and desist to try and ruin my business. Toni in her confessional says, Tamar announced that she would have our niece Ashley on her podcast. I didn't think it was a good idea. Now, I went back to episode 1 where Toni said this. They didn't include this part in this week's episode. So I went back to episode 1 because I knew it was some stuff that they didn't add to this episode. And Toni specifically said in her confessional that Tamar announced that she would have our niece Ashley on her podcast. I didn't think it was a good idea. We then see Tamar say, I'm getting Ashley here. Y'all are not going to make me feel bad about that. Trina in her confessional says, I was not involved in any shape or form involving sending a cease and desist. My name wasn't anywhere on that. Toni, you just told on yourself. You didn't think it was a good idea for her to have Ashley on there, but you didn't know anything about the cease and desist. Trina, your name wasn't anywhere on there, so nobody can say that you had any type of involvement. Crock of shit. If y'all paid attention to this whole scene, who is the only person that isn't saying a fucking word? I'll wait. Trina sat there on motherfucking mute because she knew that she was the main motherfucker that did not want that damn conversation to go down because it involved her deceased ex-husband. You had the most And the biggest reason for Tamar and Ashley not to sit down and have that conversation. You had the most to lose. So just because your name wasn't anywhere on it didn't mean that you didn't give the cosign. All three of y'all, like Birdman, all three of y'all were in on the bullshit along with y'all brother. Stop. Oh. So, Towanda says, who is y'all? Come on, let's go. She ready to have an argument. She ready. The producer was like, y'all really want to go there? And Towanda and Tamar was like, yeah, we do. So Tamar puts on her reading glasses and then pulls out 3 manila folders and hands them to all the girls and was like, Exhibit A. And she was like, y'all family attorney sent it. Towanda was like, I haven't had him as my attorney in years. And Tamar says, so you didn't know about it? Towanda says about the cease and desist. Toni interrupts and was like, I didn't know anything about it. Towanda was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. When she repeated what Tamar had already asked her, that's how I knew she was lying. Because the only time you repeat the question is when you're trying to think of an answer. And then she used Toni saying, I didn't know nothing about it to piggyback off of Toni. Girl. And when Tamar brought up the cease and desist, did y'all pay attention to how Toni looked across the table at Towanda? Like, girl, they play too much. They play too much. So Tamar was like, Toni, that's your best friend, girl, talking about Towanda. Like, girl, don't sit up here and act like y'all didn't know and like y'all don't talk. And Toni was like, we're not going to try and convict Toni for a crime she didn't commit. First of all, Toni, I love you. You're an icon. You're a legend. Beautiful gowns, beautiful face, gorgeous body. Love your voice. But ma'am, I need for you to stop talking about yourself in the third person, bitch. You have let Hollywood go to your goddamn head that Toni the Braxton is an entity. What the fuck is going on? Like, girl, it's like you a parody of yourself. You talk about yourself in the third person. Like, girl, I just want to shake her. Oh my word. So Tamar says, because somebody gave him my address, which is a complete breach. One of y'all gave this nigga my address. Y'all tried to shut down my entire business. Towanda says, don't say y'all. That's not fair to say y'all. Trina, meanwhile, is on mute and letting everybody else fight when she the main culprit. Tamar was like, my problem is nobody wanted to come to my defense. Toni says, so you gonna sit there and say Toni Braxton ain't never had your back? Now, when they initially showed this scene, because I went back and watched it, it was episode 1. When they initially showed this scene, Tamar brought up the fact that Toni allegedly said to her to bring Ashley onto the show. And Toni denied it. And you could tell that she was lying and that Tamar had called her ass out. Because the other 2 sisters were shocked that, oh, so you wanted her on the show too? Because they looked at each other like, what? And Toni was looking like, God damn, this bitch talked too motherfucking much. But she sat there and denied it. And then when Tamar said, my problem is nobody wanted to come to my defense, Toni used that as a deflection to get the heat off of her. And says, so you gonna sit up here and try to tell me Toni Braxton ain't never had your back? And Tamar was like, you didn't have my back when it came to y'all lawyer friend. She ain't talking about period. She's talking about in this case. But Toni take that and run with it. And was like, give me the strength, Lord. Give me the strength. And Tamar said, give it. Get the strength. Get you some muscles. And then here go Toni. You fucking with a heavyweight, Tamar. Don't fuck with Toni Braxton. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, you megalomaniac. And then you've already used that line before, Toni. Like, stop. It's tried and it's played out. Like, girl, Come up with a better slogan. So on next week's episode, the argument will continue and the sisters almost have an altercation with one another. Them bitches are all full of shit. They so full of shit, they stopped up, okay? They need laxatives. They are so malicious and sneaky and liars. And it's crazy how they will all band together to try to make Tamar look like she crazy. Even Toni. And you the oldest. You would think that you would know better, do better, act better. She the main culprit. They're all sickening. They're all sickening. Trina sits there and lets Toni and Towanda be her mouthpiece and fight her battles. Meanwhile, she was the main one that didn't want this information out. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that you didn't co-sign this damn cease and desist. You, your sisters, and your brother are terrible human beings. Terrible human beings. And I'm so happy that y'all lies and your antics are being exposed. They're being exposed and you can't hide behind the BS anymore. Towanda, it's a reason why your ass got hit by a car before your wedding. It's a reason why your dress ain't right and ain't ready. It's a reason why everything in your life is not going the way that you wanted it to. Because God don't like ugly. He ain't gonna bless no motherfucking mess. You apple head shaped ass bitch. Like, she literally is Voldemort. She is literally Voldemort. Look just like him and act just like him. Harry. Tamar. Oh, I forgot about the big part. I forgot. So let me go back to my notes because they showed the scene twice. And when they showed the argument the first time, to Tamar says, so who gave the man my address? I don't expect for y'all to give a fuck about me. What I'm asking about is my child. And that's when Toni looked across the table at Towanda like, ooh, we fucked up, didn't we? So Towanda was like, do I know where you live? And Tamar was like, well, of course not, because you don't come. But I know where you live because I put the down payment on your house. Baby, she got her together so motherfucking quick. And I was like, because everybody been going back and finding the episodes, right? When Towanda got her house and she did the little home tour with Mama E and I think it might have been Tracy and Tamar. And she was just going on and how she was so happy for her and Andre and the kids. And come to find out, Tamar was the one that got her the motherfucking house, that put the down payment on a house for you and your raggedy ass, lazy ass, out of work ass, mooching ass husband. And then you, in return, treated her like absolute dog shit. And let's not forget in another scene from season 1, when Tamar was like, and I bought you that car. I didn't buy you that car for him. So not only has Tamar gotten you a car, she put the down payment on your house. She got you a motherfucking job on national television where you making 6 figures. But in return, you thank her by treating her like shit, lying on her, manipulating what's really going on, making the world think that she is this horrible, terrible person. You got off on the shit. You got off on it. You treated her like she was a raggedy bitch off the street. So then Tamar was like, because I put the down payment on your house and you've been stealing from me the past couple of years on my credit card. Towanda doesn't say use a motherfucking lie or I ain't never did no shit like that. No, her response was, you done stole too. And Tamar was like, I ain't never stole nothing. She was like, Tony's man. My stomach growling. So you're not going to deny that you ain't been stealing from her. We all know you a thief. We all know it. We all know it. You stole from Mama E back in the day, was stealing her Social Security money, writing bad checks. This is not nothing new for you. So I 1000% believe Tamar when she said it. And the fact that you didn't deny it also reveals that you did it. So not only is you a lying, manipulative wench, but you a thieving bald head bitch. You can't trust this hoe. No. And did y'all peep that when Towanda said to Tamar, you stole Tony man? And Tamar was like, I ain't stole what man? Who? They bleep out whoever she names. And Tamar stands up and was like, you bitch. Did y'all peep? And it's on my thumbnail, the steal, because I took a picture of it. Trina sitting there like this. Like, get her. Get her. Like, I'm happy you exposing it. She loved every single moment of the foolishness. Once again, she allows Towanda to be her mouthpiece. She loves it. She relishes the fuck shit. Tamar stands up, was like, you bitch, you low down, dirty ass bitch, and slaps their glasses over on the table. And Tamar said he fucked Towanda. And she was like, you's a lie. And Tamar was like, I swear to God, he said he fucked Towanda. And Toni just sitting there looking like, what the fuck is going on? Now, do I think that what Towanda is saying is true? It could possibly be. I don't know. Do not know whatsoever. Do I think that it's a possibility that what Tamar is saying about Towanda is true? It could be. It could honestly be. Could honestly be. Very much so. I don't trust neither one of y'all hoes. But Tamar was like, so you think I fuck Birdman too? And that's when Toni stands up. And then, like I said, the cliffhanger ensues. But it's mighty funny that she tried to bring that up to deflect on the fact that, yeah, your ass still out here a thieving ass bitch. And you been with Sean this whole time. So why are sticky fingers? Why the fuck is you still trying to steal from folks and you over there laid up with a whole man? Is he not producing no more? Do you got you another lame bum ass nigga? Is that what's going on? Tamar, you better than me. Because ain't no way in hell that bitch would have even had access to anything of mine. Fuck that hoe. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul. Bitch, you could never come around me. Never. I wouldn't trust that bitch with my fingertips. She might try to steal my motherfucking prints. Nah. No. No. Those Braxton girls are insane. But we are finally seeing, well, not finally, because I've been seeing it. The world is finally seeing them for their works. And I'm happy that Tamar is finally being vindicated. Once again, Tamar is not innocent. Tamar got her ways. She does some low down, dirty, stupid shit too. But in this case, when it comes to her relationship with her sisters, it has been them bitches versus Tamar. I'm going to give this week's episode an A. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.